The alleged father of deceased Kaimani Lateef has been released from the hospital. Let's get that said information. Thank you for joining me.
The man accused of killing his daughter, 13-year-old Kimani Lateef, is scheduled to be in court tomorrow. Darnell Jones has been in the hospital for more than 2 weeks. He was shot by Columbus SWAT officers as they were attempting to arrest him. Jones was booked this morning at a Columbus area correction center for felonious assault. Court records show he will appear in a Columbus courtroom tomorrow morning for an arraignment. Still no word on when he will make it back to our area to face several charges, including murder.
Wow, wow, wow. So let's go back to that said information. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Wow, 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 wow. Mr. Jones. Sorry about that, everybody jumped off. He's been released from the hospital. What's going to happen now? Allegedly, the services for Kaimani is supposed to take place tomorrow, private services, so the public will not be allowed to attend, only family members. And also, there will be a public service allegedly for her on Friday. Don't know the date, time, and where it will transpire. Also, I'd like to know what will Mr. Jones reveal to the public, to the court, pertaining to an accomplice. It has been said by Tiara, Kaimani's mother, that he admits to sexually assaulting Kaimani, but not murdering her. Very interesting information. So, he sexually assaulted the girl, but didn't kill her, so he says. This is information per the baby's mother. You don't really know what to believe. It's all a bunch of crazy nonsense. I'm going to bring you the latest pertaining to him getting out of the hospital and taken to a jail. Don't know when he will be transferred to the Toledo jail. But right now he's in another jurisdiction, Cleveland, Ohio jail. So we will see what will happen with this said individual. Is there another accomplice? Is there somebody else involved in this debacle, heinous crime of a 13-year-old girl child who had a birthday recently? She didn't get to see her 14th birthday. I'm trying to bring up this information. For some reason, it's not allowing me to read it. Darnell Jones, do you have an accomplice? What is he going to tell us? Guilty, not guilty? He has an arraignment in the morning. What is he going to say to the court? Will he give a plea tomorrow morning? Will he ask to remain in Cleveland jail, not be extradited back to Toledo? Lots of options, of course. Hey, I don't want to go back. Do everything here. Either way, you're known as a killer and a rapist. So that's not going to go anywhere. No matter if you go ask to stay in Cleveland, don't want to go back to Toledo, won't matter. You're still charged with the said crime. People still know you as this assaulter of a child. It is what it is. Hold on, you guys. I'm trying to bring you the said charges. Having the hardest time information pulling up for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Rumors flying around about Dorothy and Tiara having criminal records, backgrounds. How about that? One person put in the chat that Tiara and 2 other men committed a robbery. Is that true, Tiara? You committed a robbery? When was that? And also, Grandma, she has a criminal background allegedly, but yet in the press conference they said there was nothing that was on the radar to keep her from getting Kaimani, such as a criminal background. Well now. Woo-hoo-hoo. The Toledo man accused of killing his own daughter has been released from the hospital and is now in police custody. Records show Darnell Jones, who also goes by Darnell Ogletree, is now in custody in Franklin County. According to the sheriff's office, he's accused of abducting and killing his daughter, Kaimani Lateef. The record said he was officially booked on April 9th and is due in court on April 10th. Records show he's being held at the James A. Carnes Correction Center on High Street in Columbus. We've requested his updated booking photo. We're waiting to hear back. Authorities tracked Jones down in Columbus and shot him the day after the teen's body was found in an abandoned home on Miami Street in Toledo. Jones's girlfriend at the time told 13 Action News she tipped police off to his location. This is a breaking news story. Check back shortly for additional details. Now, these are the latest developments pertaining to what happened to the child. If you need verification, MSN is the source of the said information. Know that this is an ever-evolving story, so anything can change at any given moment. Judge grants Kaimani Lateef's grandmother right to handle funeral arrangements. So at the moment, Dorothy Lateef has the rights over the said of the child's body and estate. So that means Tiara has no rights to the child. Will she allow her to go come see the child remains? Don't know if it'll be an open casket or not. It's supposed to take place tomorrow in Toledo, Ohio. House where investigators discovered murdered body of Toledo teen set for demolition. They're going to give it a 3-month interval of tearing down that said abandoned property. Community participates in the 13-mile walk in honor of Kaimani Lateef. East Toledo Family Center to host support session for those grieving loss of Kaimani Lateef. Crews begin preps to demolish the house where Kaimani was found. Volunteers move tribute. Dale Riggs Funeral Home to host services for Kaimani Lateef. Local businesses host fundraisers to fight domestic violence in honor of Kaimani Lateef. Kaimani Lateef Memorial still growing amid outpouring of community. Transfer to that said Riggs location. Don't know if it's been moved over yet. LCCS investigation found no evidence to remove Kaimani Lateef from her home. Toledo community to commemorate Kaimani's birthday Friday, which was days ago. Girlfriend reveals what led investigators to Kaimani Lateef's father. Lucas County Children's Services Board approves task force to investigate policies. Body cam footage shows SWAT shooting of Toledo man accused of killing Kaimani Lateef. Business coming together to raise funds for funeral services. So this is all going back in time pertaining to the disappearance and then later the child being found in an abandoned home. TPD Chief Columbus FOP President feud over statements made in Kaimani Lateef's murder. This was weeks ago. A lot of systems failed. That poor girl. Council seeks answers on Lateef abuse. Toledo's police chief discusses Kaimani Lateef case. This feels preventable. Kaimani Lateef's former teacher speaks at a community vigil for the Toledo team. Everything we know about the life and death of 13-year-old Kaimani Lateef. Police shoot the father, which was weeks ago, wanted for daughter's murder. Missing Toledo girl's body was found in an abandoned home. Father facing murder charge. Search party gathers to look for missing 13-year-old from North Toledo. Police family searching for the child. This is just going back in time of everything that's been said about the said child. And then I'm trying to find, each article shows something different. The charging documents against Mr. Darnell. Let's see what WTOL has. Thank you all so much for joining me. Well, the worst is over. He's now in a jail. Jones arraignment is scheduled for 9 a.m. Thursday. Jones is charged with felonious assault in Columbus and is charged with murder, felonious assault, and abduction in her death. Until Wednesday, Jones had not appeared in any official court or jail documentation. There is no word yet on when he'll be extradited to Toledo. And the picture you're seeing is a picture from 2022. A current mugshot was not made immediately available by the Franklin County Sheriff's Office. And as most of you know, The child was found in an abandoned home March 24th following a week-long disappearance. Jones is charged with the murder in Keimani's death. And allegedly he's the father. The mother has told the viewing audience on YouTube that he is not in any legal documentation by the Toledo Children's Services as the said father of Keimani Lateef. So if he is the father, he isn't in any legal documents within the state of Ohio's database of children's services. Once again, his charges are murder, felonious assault, and abduction in the death of Keimani. Police SWAT officers shot and injured Jones last month and apprehended him. Since then, he has remained in Columbus. Jones was the last person to see Keimani alive before she was reported missing on March 18th, according to police. Jones was accused of removing her from her home without her guardian's consent and giving police inconsistent statements about his activity with the victim, according to a warrant issued for his arrest. That is the said information. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow in court, if he'll give a plea or not. If he say guilty, not guilty, he'll probably say not guilty. He does not want this charge. And I don't believe they have the death penalty in Ohio that I know of. If so, he deserves it. If they do have the death penalty, he deserves it because you're talking about a child. And here in Tennessee, there is a law stating any type of abuse leads to murder, you can face the death penalty here in the state of Tennessee, which every state should have that law. My thing is, even if you're caught abusing a child sexually, you should be put down. Whether the child's alive or deceased, that's my personal opinion. Any type of abuse against a child sexually, you should be put down like a rabid dog. And this thing, he is no different. Once again, this is a 2022 mugshot of Mr. Jones. He set himself up for this. He has a past criminal record dealing with arson, disorderly conduct at the same time. He's a misfit. And you'll see this with a lot of sadists. It's called stair step. There's certain things in their past leads to the jump off of murder. And the fact that he likes carrying a weapon, beating up women. Now we hear that he likes little girls. Fire starter. All that comes from somewhere. He probably was introduced to sex early, molested himself, and never got help, never got treatment. And then he goes on as an adult, fancying children. And the fact that he is the father of 3 girls, that's even more scary. Because now we have to ask, how much contact did he have with his last children? The baby girl was living with he and the mother before he got arrested for this said charge of raping his own child and then murdering her. So we have to ask, did he touch his youngest girl child? And where's the other girl child? How much dealings did he have with that child? And did he also touch her? And how many other children has he touched and assaulted? Is he a dual offender? Some men, women are dual offenders. They molest boys and girls. There's a lot to ask in this situation. There's a lot to ask. But that's the said information. Mr. Jones is now out of the hospital. He is in a jail in, I believe they said Columbus. And we will see what happens, what plea he will enter in tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. If he will ask to remain in the current jail or be extradited, if he will try to fight extradition. Naturally, these are within his rights. What will he plead? Guilty or not guilty? Will he implicate another person into his plea to say, well, yeah, I raped my kid, but I didn't kill her? That's allegedly what was told to the mother or someone close to the mother. That was her information she gave on YouTube. And as I said, the YouTube streets are really, really talking and gossiping that she and her mother both have criminal records. And even Tara asked, how did her mother get custody of the said child when she lost custody of her children to the state and passed one of the children along to a relative in Arizona? So that child, that boy child, would not have been entered into the state's custody. But what I've learned lately is that whether you have a criminal record, past drug offense, felonious offense, you can get custody of your child. I know someone who ended up getting custody of their own daughter, and he had drug charges in his criminal background. So anything is possible. I think they changed the criteria depending on the last time you've committed an offense or felonious or misdemeanor. And the thing that's so crazy about him, he was living with his current wife at the time when he got custody of his girl child, and he had allegations against him for physical abuse against her children, I believe. The state was involved. So I think that's interesting that he was able to get custody of his daughters. But you see, if it's unfounded, they close the case. Anything's possible. But he does have criminal charges for selling drugs, this man that I know. And he was able to get custody of his daughter when I believe her mother died and there was nobody to take her in. He stepped up and took her in. The daughter did have a lot of problems. She was a troubled young lady, and that's expected when you're dealing with a drug addict mother. But it is what it is. Every state has his or her own criteria of who can get a child and be a custodian. That's information, everybody coming out of Ohio. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below. Follow the Queen on the Newsbreak app. Check out my extensive library of 3,000 videos and shorts. I have some shorts uploaded right now pertaining to Sean Puffy Combs. This case here of the grandmother, Tiara, and Mr. Darnell Jones. Also, a young lady who allegedly hit another girl running track a month ago. She's apologized. She says she's sorry, but yet the family says they have not heard from her. She's blocked on social media. She's been charged with a misdemeanor. Did she do it on purpose or was it an accident? She says it was an accident. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $BigAngie 129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. Thank you for your time, everybody. Have a wonderful week. God bless all of you. And if you see something, say something. Be a part of the solution, not the problem. Mind the children. They are our future. You're not a snitch if you see any type of nefarious business pertaining to a child. No such thing as a snitch. Snitch only applies if you are in the game. And as I said, pertaining to children, it ain't no game. It's reality. Thank you for your time. You have been listening to the Vault XL. Thank you.